Hey, Kris Kennedy here with a friendly real estate market update for Greater Orlando and Central Florida. I've been asked a ton recently from friends, clients, and even realtors from other markets on how the real estate market's doing here in Orlando. I thought it was timely to create a new market update post because of that and because it's been about 6 months since the interest rates have gone up significantly, and it's been just over 2 years since the pandemic began and started affecting the real estate market here. It might be confusing seeing all of these headlines that say recession, downturn, or market shift, etc., that may make it seem like the market is going down. And then you actually look at what's happening in your neighborhood and home prices haven't gone down. Home prices are staying strong and homes are still selling. So if the market's going down, what gives? This actually kind of bothers me that a lot of these media outlets put these dramatized titles out there to get viewership or to get people to click on those articles and read them. Keep in mind that the big media channels that post real estate news are often referencing average sale prices from a month or even 2 months prior. And if they're doing that, that means those homes actually went under contract a month or two even before that. So while we're in mid-August, we could be talking about a home sale that happened or a home that went under contract back in May. By this time, that data is almost irrelevant. The market has been changing too quickly. The other thing is that they use too broad of an area to describe what's happening in a market. Real estate is always hyper-local. What's happening in Lake Nona, completely different than what might be happening in Winter Park, and so on. And I could go on a million examples of how hyper-localized you could get on the type of real estate, and it's important to understand all of that. So I felt it imperative to go over what's happening right now in our market so that we can make the most educated decisions with our real estate needs moving forward. So I've shared that all of this data that I've painstakingly compiled over the last few days, I've spent hours and hours on it, and that's on my website, orlandokris.com, and you can check that out on the blog. I'll post a link here, or if you're not already on that website checking it out. Generally speaking, here's what's happening. Home sale price averages have not gone down. They're actually up from the past 6 months and year over year, and they're up significantly. And it depends on where. It's an average of about 16%. Let's talk about the number of homes that have sold for the past month. That number is down slightly from 6 months ago, but it is down significantly from a year ago. There's about 25% less homes that have sold in July of 2022 compared to July of 2021. Here's some important data. The number of new listings coming to the market has grown across the board. It is up significantly, up 30% all the way to 45%. That's a significant amount of more inventory. That's up from 6 months ago and a year ago and 2 years ago. We haven't seen this much inventory into the market in a long time. The number of people putting homes under contract, or the number of pending sales we're seeing, that has dipped just slightly, 5 to 10% depending on where you're at. This is why buyers are having a little bit more options out there when they're going to search for homes. And this is why sellers aren't able to overshoot the current market value or ambitiously price those homes and get those prices. It's very important that if you do want to sell your home, to price it correctly or strategically based on your goals at this time moving forward. Buyers, this is also a great time to not have to compete against other buyers because there's less people shopping out there relative to how many homes are available. If you want to see like how much inventory is in each city, check out some of the graphs that I have and charts that are on my blog. Very detailed, lots of information. So what's my opinion of where the market's headed? If you've been following me along for a few years, then you probably remember that video where I said home prices are going to continue to go up right at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. I think that was an understatement. I think that home prices may level off a bit. Maybe we see a slight decrease in home price averages over the next year, but it's not going to be anything significant. I think it's going to actually continue to go up just slightly. Maybe we see a 3% to 5% increase year over year over the next year and a half to 2 years. Inventory is going to continue to come back. We may very likely see an increase in buyer activity over the next couple of months before the holidays hit. We will see more and more price reductions continue to happen because a lot of times people get a little bit ambitious on their pricing and overprice it way above where the current market is. It's going to be very important for people to price their home strategically for their goals. Buyers are going to be more sensitive moving forward. They have more options for homes to buy now. sellers were going to have to work a little bit harder than we did before, when the market was just bananas and there was literally no inventory where you could just put anything on the market and it sells. You might have to put a little bit of effort into getting the home ready and marketing it to the public moving forward. Again, it doesn't mean you're taking haircuts on the home prices yet. It just means we can't overprice the homes and get away with it like we used to. Since we are still very much in a seller's market, and even if more and more inventory comes to the market and demand slows down or less people put homes under contract, it's going to take another good 4, 5, 6 months to get closer to a buyer's market. And that's if nothing else changes in the whole US economy or the global economy that doesn't increase consumer confidence. I think that we'll see the lower price ranged homes do very well and not have to decrease in price much if they do at all. That's because people always have to live somewhere, and rents are going up. And when rents are going up, buying even with higher interest rates still looks a little bit more attractive. Plus, you have all of the investors that still have mostly cash or all cash that they're going to be competing with. So there's not going to be much of a reason for sellers to discount their prices on those entry-level priced homes. And then going to the luxury market in the Central Florida area, still much more affordable compared to other parts of Florida like Naples or Miami. So that makes it very attractive for people coming from places like California, New York, or relocating from within Florida to buy a nice luxury property. And when I say luxury, I mean maybe $1 million and over. That price range of homes often has all cash buyers. It's something like 55-60% of buyers purchase the $1 million plus homes with all cash. So these higher interest rates aren't going to make too big of a difference. So I hope that gave you some insight on what's happening in the local market and answered some questions. If you want to talk about it more, give me a call or email. I'm always happy to have a conversation. If you've watched this on my blog or on my YouTube channel, I really appreciate you being a follower or a subscriber. You guys are great. I hope to see you soon, and I hope to hear from you sooner than that.